last week, and to make everything fair.
We've been really working extremely hard in 3 areas: Quincy Center, the Quincy Shipyard, and Crown Colony. So a lot happening in Quincy, a lot of good things happening. We completed Senior Center, we completed the Marymount Park project. We continue to sustain the services that people expect and deserve, as well as the business of our city.
Do you think that the tax burden here is too high? And if so, what steps would you take to correct it? And if you think it's too low, what are we in store for?
You think I'm going to say it's too low?
That was
Because really the services that we're all familiar with happen at the local level, whether it's educating our kids, whether it's public safety, maintaining the roads, your parks. It all happens at the local level where the local government delivers those services. So it continues to be challenging, and because of the economy we're in, because of the difficulty last year, that's why we committed this year that we would not go up on the taxes. I think the burden has become challenging for people, particularly in these difficult. I don't know the answer yet on the municipal finance. Clearly, the best way I know right now under these circumstances to keep the burden down is to create economic development, to create economic opportunities. It not only helps us on the tax side, but it also helps those folks that are in the job market.
It's taking place on the South Shore that are going to create brand new economy here in the next 10 or 20 years. Quincy is certainly part of that with Streetworks, which is a very exciting project. But Streetworks is the master developer. They have to then sell their project and the city to individual businesses to come in. What's your sense of the overall business climate here, and what specific plans do you have to improve the business climate?
Well, let me say it's Streetworks' vision. It's Streetworks and the city's vision. The meetings we've had with Streetworks since I've been in office, the plans have changed dramatically. And that's because of the interest, because of the input of not only the administration, but we took the road, the show on the road, if you will, to various neighborhoods, to various businesses. But most of our focus has truly been on Quincy Center. It needs to be in Quincy Center until we get the deal done. And I think it helps all of us in the business community.
But you mentioned that you had a baptism by fire coming in. How's the office changed you? How are you a little different today than you were 2 years ago? And is there anything you would have done differently?
Well, I might have held off on the rug. Going back, I kiddingly talked about the office renovations. Our office, the mayor's office, is the face of the city in so many ways. You bring in business people, and you bring in investors in. You want to put the best face on, the best face forward. So, when we did the office renovations in the spring, it didn't break till the fall. The press, for whatever reason, I don't think I had a ledger reporter in my office until they wanted to see the rug. Several months after being in the office. It was quite interesting. But the fact was, we made some changes in how we were doing government. We brought constituent services back up to our office. The assessor's office was the original rug in City Hall. It was a mess, as with some other offices. So it was an existing bond issue to do some improvements, which we did throughout City Hall, including the mayor's office suite. And I opted to go to a better quality rug in my office. And at that time, paid for it out of my campaign monies. The increase in the quality, which would pay for half the rug. Oddly enough, when I took office, I had no chair. The chair that was the mayor's chair was gone, so my campaign bought me a chair. And then we had made some changes, and we bought 12 new conference chairs for the conference room table, which I paid for personally. So I thought we were doing the right thing. But you do learn a lot. The economy was changing at that point in the fall. The press picked up on. It just took on a life of its own. It was pretty crazy. Well, if things don't work in November, I'm taking the chairs with me. I don't know. You look at the years of growth of the government under Bill Phelan, it went up dramatically, which required the dramatic increases in the taxes over the years. There were commitments made that we haven't even been paid for yet. The city under his leadership lost 90% state reimbursement for a new high school, for a new central middle school, and lost the Sterling Middle School rehab completely, which is going to be costing us. 2 years from now, the fiscal year, that's when the mortgage for Quincy High kicks in. And our budget, our deficit debt line, if you will, goes just like that. It's great everyone gets up there for the ribbon cutting for the new high school. How are we going to pay for it? Nobody really talks about it. A few years ago, under Bill Phelan, the city went to full-day kindergarten. Terrific. Everybody loves full-day kindergarten. That's because I think almost 300 teachers had retired the year before. It created this great gap in the budget. It allowed us to do that. Well, guess what? 3 or 4 years later, when those new teachers hit their max, you got to find money again for the full-day kindergarten. Now, I support full-day kindergarten. It's very important educationally. My point is, every decision that's made, every commitment that's made, has got to be packed up with a plan on how we're going to pay for it.
What will be your top 3 priorities for your next term?
Economic development and economic development. In addition, continue to provide quality education. We have a great school system, which also, it's not just about educating your kids, but a good school system also affects the value of your community. That's very important. And safe, clean streets.
Mayor Koch, can you speak to possible efficiencies that could be come from making the 911 system better than what it is today?
In Quincy, we have a system where the fire department monitors the 911 calls, and before the dispatcher even sends something out, they've already dispatched a piece of apparatus to go to that emergency medical call, for example. So the response time in Quincy is unmatched across our Commonwealth because of the system we have. Now, I know my opponent's been talking about doing a one dispatch center at the police station, which would require, no matter how you slice it, a fireman to be part of that. So the savings is really exaggerating what you would do. In addition, I talked to my IT people. You're looking at perhaps close to $1 million in costs to move all the fiber optics you need to do to have one location. So the whole thing has to be analyzed to see what the cost benefit would be.